Winners do not borrow luck. They install leadership inside their own minds. I learned that results follow the setting of an inner switch, positive mental attitude. When I fixed my attitude to serve an aim, problems became raw material, not roadblocks. This is not cheerfulness. It is command over thought, feeling, and action on schedule. Give me a few minutes, and I will hand you a switch you can flip today. Here is the paradox. The same obstacle gives two men opposite futures. One asks, "Why won't this work for me?" and rehearses retreat. The other asks, "How can this advance the mission by noon?" and discovers the path. Your subconscious mind obeys whichever question you repeat with feeling. Change the question, and the day begins to cooperate. Tonight you will see PMA contrasted with NMA, tested against failure, and drilled into habit. You will leave with a 30-second switch, an attitude journal, and a cycle that makes confidence compound. This is practical, 3 proofs before noon, or we haven't done our job. Set your aim, flip the switch, and let results start answering for you. If you are ready to think like a winner, we begin now. Why do two men with equal talent live unequal lives? I asked that for years. One advances while the other circles the block, both working, both trying. The difference is not fortune. It is the setting of the inner switch. When I fixed my attitude to serve, not fear, the power of the mind obeyed. Results began to report on time because leadership lived inside first. Positive mental attitude is not cheerfulness. It is command. It tells my subconscious mind what to hunt, solutions, not exits. With PMA, the same problem becomes raw material instead of a stop sign. I speak to the day. How does this move the mission? And the day answers. Without PMA, I ask, why me? And the day grows quiet. After naming your 6 fears, you are ready for the counterforce. PMA is the attitude that turns fear's alarms into useful instructions. It aligns purpose, emotions, and action so your creed stays audible under pressure. You will feel the shift the moment problems become prompts and proof returns by noon. Let me define it now, clearly enough that you can install it today. Positive mental attitude is not optimism with a fresh coat of paint. It is the decision to govern thought, feeling, and action toward one aim. I set the target, then command my mind to treat problems as raw material. The power of the mind follows the clearest foreman on site. Give it one. With PMA, chance becomes timing because purpose is already on duty. I define PMA as focus, emotional direction, and inner dominion. Focus selects the useful fact. Emotion supplies the voltage to act. Dominion keeps attention from renting space to fear or complaint. Your subconscious mind reads this posture as law and returns methods. Results look like luck to onlookers. They feel like payroll to you. I have said it plainly. A positive attitude is the road that turns problems into opportunities. Not denial, direction. Not hype, order. Not noise, proof before noon. I speak my creed morning and night, then move where it points. If doubt interrupts, I answer with today's numbers, not speeches. That is PMA in practice. Leadership inside, cooperation outside. I interviewed more than 500 men who built uncommon lives. Different trades, same inner setting. They thought in a way that served their aim. The power of the mind, under positive mental attitude, treats friction as fuel. Where others saw closed doors, they saw hinges and asked for the tools. This posture did not make life easy. It made progress routine. PMA increases resilience because it pre-accepts resistance as part of the route. Setbacks stop being verdicts and become data for the next iteration. Creativity rises because attention hunts solutions the way a compass hunts north. Your subconscious mind, trained by repetition, returns patterns on schedule. Fears still knock, but they find no chair when purpose is hosting. In plain mechanics, what you rehearse, you recognize. What you recognize, you use. PMA programs the reticular system to flag useful cues, allies, and timing. It protects focus during temporary defeat and keeps proof arriving by noon. Winners are not braver every hour. They are loyal to a better question. How can this advance the mission today? Ask it often enough, and your results begin to answer for you. Positive mental attitude asks, how can this be made to work? Negative mental attitude asks, why won't this work for me? The power of the mind answers the question you repeat with feeling. When I install PMA, my subconscious mind hunts tools, allies, and angles. When I tolerate NMA, it hunts exits, alibis and delays dressed as logic. In daily life, the contrast is plain. PMA at the gym says, 10 minutes is enough to start, move. NMA says, no hour, no point, and you practice quitting in advance. At work, PMA asks, which buyer has the clearest pain today? NMA scrolls for trends and calls avoidance research. PMA creates paths. NMA manufactures permission slips to stop. With PMA, I keep the aim, adjust the method, and ship by noon. With NMA, I keep the excuses, adjust the story, and postpone proof. Your results are the echoes of whichever mindset you financed this morning. Fund the one that serves the mission, and the world will invoice you in wins. Engineers told Henry Ford the V8 in a single block could not be done. He did not rent his thinking from their doubts. He hired his PMA to lead. The power of the mind, set to how, kept the blueprint chair warm. His order never changed, build it, and when months passed, keep working. Decision held steady. The method was allowed to evolve. That is positive mental attitude in steel and fire. PMA did not deny the difficulty. It directed attention to solvable pieces. My interview showed his subconscious mind returned answers because the command was won. NMA would have asked for permission to quit. PMA asked for the next step. The calendar kept paying out because conviction kept clocking in. Translate this into your shop today. Keep the destination, ship the product, pass the exam, close 20 clients. Let experiments change. Angle offer, outreach list, study resource. Speak like Ford, build it, then schedule the next proof before noon. When the engine finally runs, you'll call it innovation. I'll call it PMA kept. Failure is a message, not a memorial. When a plan collapses, I ask one question with positive mental attitude. What did this teach that advances tomorrow's proof? The power of the mind, under PMA files pain as data, temperature, not identity. I convert embarrassment into a checklist, tighten the offer, refine the audience, simplify the ask. My subconscious mind returns methods because it was told to look for them, not for exits. Losers translate a miss into a meaning. I'm not the kind of man who wins. Winners translate it into mechanics. My sequence was wrong. Fix step 2. With PMA, I keep the destination and interrogate the route. If the outcome serves others, I refuse to renegotiate it. I change the how. I do not bury the why. Here is my failure drill on paper. Write the event in one line, not a paragraph. List 3 controllables I will change by noon, message, channel, or cadence. Schedule the next rep and log it where my eyes must see. Repeat until results arrive. They always respect stubborn, useful adjustments. First sign, you blame. You narrate villains instead of variables. Each accusation trains the power of the mind to search for culprits, not levers. Your subconscious mind then files stuck as permanent and hides your tools. Replace blame with an audit. Which step did I own, and what's the next fix by noon? Responsibility restores agency faster than inspiration ever will. Second sign, you avoid challenge. You choose tasks that cannot judge you. Comfort looks kind, but it keeps you unmeasured and unpaid. Third sign, you quit quickly. You treat the first friction as a forecast. With them, one bad hour rewrites the whole story. With PMA, one bad hour becomes one better iteration by 12. Fourth sign, you expect the worst and call it realism. That posture protects pride while it stars progress. Fifth sign, you rehearse complaint. You tell the world your limits until it agrees. Your subconscious mind takes dictation from your mouth. Watch your payroll of words. Swap each habit with one question. How does this advance the mission today? I use a 4-step switch you can flip in under a minute. Step 1, recognition. Catch the sentence that just shrank your future. Name it. Step 2, replacement. Ask, how can I advance 1 inch right now? Step 3, physiology. Shoulders back, deep breath, eyes up. The body tells the mind we're capable. Step 4, micro-action. 30 seconds of movement toward the mission. Run it with me now. 30 seconds, no speeches. Pick one task you've delayed. Name the first tiny move, 1 call, 1 message, 1 paragraph. Set a countdown for 30 as start, and do it imperfectly but completely. The power of the mind learns by motion, not by promises. When the timer ends, write what moved and schedule the next rep by noon. This is how PMA becomes practical, not poetic. You redirect thought, aim emotion, and command behavior on schedule. Your subconscious mind begins to expect movement when doubt appears. Do this 3 times today, morning, midday, evening, and log each proof. By week's end, the switch will feel automatic, and results will feel inevitable. Each morning, I run a brief ledger that funds the day with direction. First line, 3 useful thoughts, specific, service-focused, tied to my aim. Second line, 1 hidden opportunity inside today's biggest problem. Third line, 1 immediate action that proves commitment before noon. The power of the mind respects lists it must answer, not moods it can debate. Here is my page exactly as I write it. 3 positives, a person I can serve, a skill I can sharpen, a proof I can post. 1 opportunity, the obstacle that, if solved, advances 10 steps at once. 1 action, a call, a page, pitch, scheduled and later crossed out in ink. Your subconscious mind learns to deliver methods because it sees you spin them. Close the day with the same book. Record wins in numbers, not adjectives. Note 1 lesson without drama. Ask, what will tomorrow's first proof be? And put it on the calendar. This journal is not a diary. It is a contract for results. Keep it for 30 days and watch your attitude pay dividends on schedule. Positive mental attitude turns on a current that powers everything else. Energy rises because attention stops leaking into complaint and fear. With more energy, I take more action. 3 proofs before noon, not 1. Action produces results, even small ones, that the power of the mind can count. Results feed confidence, and confidence renews from a cycle complete. I have watched this spiral change men quickly. A single week of log proofs replaces a year of speeches. Your subconscious mind begins to anticipate success and surfacing methods on schedule. Opportunities become visible because you finally have the voltage to notice them. Confidence becomes a quiet habit, not a mood you negotiate. Guard this cycle with 2 simple rules. Never end a day without recording at least 1 proof. Never start a day without choosing 3. If a setback slows you, reduce scope, not standards. Keep the cycle alive. Remember, PMA is not luck. It is leadership over focus repeated until automatic. Hold it for 30 days and the world will start cooperating conspicuously. Positive mental attitude does not audition on sunny afternoons. It earns the job in storms. When I lost a client, a deal, or a friend, PMA asked 1 question only: what moves the mission by noon? The power of the mind wanted a eulogy. I gave it a checklist. 3 controllables, 1 call, 1 creation, 1 cleanup of the bottleneck. Grief could visit, progress still had a key. Unemployment, rejection, public failure. I met them all. With MA, I would rename myself and shrink the aim. With PMA, I renamed the event, temporary defeat, tuition paid. My subconscious mind, trained by repetition, returned methods even while feelings argued. Results trickled first, then arrived on schedule, because the schedule never left. Here is the drill I keep for crises. Write the hit in 1 line. Write the lesson in 1 sentence. Write 3 actions with times. Ask 1 ally for a fast review, not sympathy. Ship something small before lunch to prove I'm still in business. By night, the ledger shows motion, and the storm begins to obey. #conclusion, first person as Napoleon Hill. Winners think differently because they command their focus, not because they were born lucky. Positive mental attitude is the switch. Choose the question, fuel it with feeling, and prove it by noon. Record the wins nightly so your subconscious mind learns what normal looks like. Guard the cycle, energy, action, results, confidence, and it will start guarding you. Tell me, what problem will you turn into raw material tomorrow morning? Which 3 actions will you log before lunch to teach your mind who's in charge? What sentence will you read at dawn to set the inner switch? Who will benefit because you chose service over complaint? If this sharpened your aim, stay with me. Subscribe, activate notifications, and keep your attitude journal where your eyes must see it. Next episode, we explore the force that turns clarity into motion fast, the power of decision. It is the habit that clips the wings of hesitation. Decide now and meet me in the next chapter.